Do you want to know how to talk to your child about eating too much? I'm Nicholeen Peck, and I teach parenting, good communication, how to build strong family bonds, and child development all over the world through the lens of the principle self-government. And in this video, I'm talking about eating too much. So in this video, we're going to talk about what is too much, why do some people eat too much, and then what you can do to help your child take ownership over the amount they eat and their health. Now, if you've been watching this channel for a while, then you'll probably notice that there are some videos that say Nicholeen Peck that don't look like me, and then some that look like me. Well, they're all me. I used to be 100 pounds heavier than I am today, and that's because, well, I used to eat too much, for one, and second, my body wasn't quite balanced right, probably because I had eaten too many of the wrong things and I didn't have my body cleaned out and ready to lose weight like it needed to. But now I have a handle on my weight and my health and my body, and I'm able to self-govern it so much better than I used to. In fact, it's like being a whole new person. I think a lot of people feel like probably I look like a whole new person, and I promise you I didn't have any surgery or anything else. I literally just gave myself no answers and instructions, and I tracked everything I did. In fact, there's a video I made when I was about 80 pounds down, and it was called The Self-Government Way to Lose Weight or something like that. You can watch that. There's some details on there. I'm probably due to make another video about that. I mean, I know my hair's changed and a few things like that, but the biggest thing is my weight. Anyway, what does that have to do with our children and eating too much? Well, sometimes some people don't have that off switch in their brain that tells them, that's good enough. You have eaten enough. They wait until they're uncomfortably full to know that, oh, I think I've had enough to eat. Or they have to eat something that's really bad health, like maybe it's super rich or something like that, in order to tell them, oh yeah, my belly doesn't feel very good. They almost wait for a sickness feeling because they don't actually know what being satisfied feels like. So some people don't have an off switch in their brain, like they're not notified. So this means that they could eat a lot. Also, if there's other people around them, like siblings who eat fast or eat a lot, they could feel like they need to eat more just because everybody else is eating more, and they're just not monitoring what they're really doing. Children do not take a lot of time thinking about how many more bites should I have. When they're little, they'll take the bites to not eat. But once they get a little bit older and they like certain foods, they're like, I'm just eating this because it's nice and that's it. And I don't care beyond that. But there comes a point where they might care, and I know that some parents know that because maybe they've been through things just like I have. And they think, I don't want my child to have to deal with that. So my daughter Paige is doing the same weight loss stuff that I am too. So see that? I kind of trained her probably to eat too much. She said, Mom, I think I have a food addiction. And I said, oh, whoa. She said, no, I do. I think my brain doesn't shut off. I don't know when I'm full. I don't seem to process that really well. And she's like, so I've got to work really hard on that. So she is now losing weight. She's like down almost 40 pounds, bless her heart. I mean, she wanted to do that after having her twins anyway. She is really doing tremendous, and she's just really self-governing it so well. But it took desire, and I feel bad because I probably ended up training her to eat the old way, and then she got bigger and there she was. Sometimes they get trained to eat too much by other people around them, maybe friends, maybe family members. These could all be reasons why people choose to eat too much. Sometimes we just pick our favorite foods and we don't care what the health or nutrition information is about those foods. We just want those foods and we don't want other foods. There's some friends I have who just won't eat vegetables no matter what. They only want carbs, 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 and fats and sugars, and that's it. And that's all they like, and they don't want to try anything else. So that's what they're going to do. That's what they're going to eat, and there could be, results of that. So how do you train your children to have good eating habits? That's what we're really talking about today, because health is a bigger picture than just eating too much. If you're talking with your child about eating too much really often, then it could be that you're getting into nagging about that, and that could really push them away from wanting to optimize their health. Sometimes the better thing to do is start to just teach them the nuts and bolts of health and eating and nutrition. For instance, when I lost weight, I didn't know that the amount of calories you're supposed to eat is what you weigh or want to weigh times 11. So if I want to weigh 150 pounds, then I need to eat 1,620 calories a day. That means I'm going to have to track it, because otherwise how am I going to know when I get to that point? It's going to take a lot of training before I go, oh yeah, I think I'm about at my 1620. I'm also going to have a certain amount of water every day, a certain amount of fitness, exercise, or movement that happens every day. And that when I do that, guess what? I get more calories that I can eat too. There's also certain things that are in our foods which make it so that we should, in order to have a balanced diet, not just eat the same thing every time, right? There's our macronutrients like the proteins, the fats, and the carbs, and they all do different things for us. We've got to figure those things out too. Anyway, I'm not going to go into a weight loss strategy, but what I am going to do is I am going to say with your children, teach them, listen, when you're eating, you need to balance these things out, otherwise you get weight gain. You just need to know that, because that's how bodies work. If you eat more calories than you burn or more than you are using to grow, which can be a little bit more difficult with children, because children can almost eat a little bit more sometimes because they're growing, especially through certain periods of their life. And you say, and if you eat the wrong things too, suddenly it starts storing wrong on you, and then you'll start feeling like, how come I'm changing clothes size suddenly? Or, those types of things. So just educating them about those things, not putting any shame on it, not saying you're going to be judging, looking, or whatever, but just giving them the information that they need is really helpful, because then they can decide what they want to do with it. Another thing that you should do is you should probably teach them about portion control and about, okay, we only ever have one plate, we have this portion, this portion, this portion, that's it. We don't go beyond that, or maybe about snacking, all of those types of things. One thing I'm going to caution you about is that you absolutely do not want to micromanage every single thing your child eats. Don't attach shame or stress or pressure or any type of emotions to their amount that they eat or that they don't eat. You've got to detach from that. Your calmness is super important, because they will feel that, and that just feels like stress and pressure. And some people eat more because of stress. In fact, that could be a thing to discuss at some point. You could say, hey, how have you been doing on your stress lately? Because I know you have a lot of things going on. Sometimes when people are under stress, they don't sleep. Sometimes they don't eat. Sometimes they eat too much. Sometimes they get grumpy. Let's just talk about your stress and make sure you know how to manage it and you've got a plan for that. So I would talk about being healthy, I would give the information that they need, and then I would talk about managing stress and some of those other things, that happen maybe during puberty and those types of things as well. Then finally, to bring in the full self-government picture. All of this has been self-government because it's deliberate conversation, it's training, it's knowing what to choose because you have the full information. But remember those 4 basic skills of self-government. I talk about them all over this channel. They take care of the majority of our behavior problems. Well, one of those skills of self-government, actually 2, I guess if we're going to be really accurate, but one in particular you have to start with. You have to be able to accept a no answer about food if you're going to stop eating as much. You have to say, this is the stop, this is the no answer. And you have to feel good telling yourself, that's a no. I accepted a no. I chose to be done. Now for my snack, I'm going to have water. You have to tell yourself that it's okay. Now that leads to the next skill that you'll need, which is following instructions in order to move on to something else, like just having a drink of water or monitoring your hydration, which sometimes when people are dehydrated, they eat too much food, just so you know. They're trying to cure their hydration with food consumption instead of with water. So that can happen. But you have to give yourself an instruction. Oh, drink water first, then eat food. Okay, now I'm ready. I've got a no answer and I've got an instruction and I've got the steps for those skills so I know how to follow through. That's what I would highly recommend. Don't get emotional. Don't get controlling about it. There's a ton of natural negative consequences anyway that come with overeating. Those will be faced in time. You can choose to correct a person for not accepting a no answer if they're just really going overboard on eating too much, but get the full steps of correction to make sure you don't do those things in an emotional way. And you can find out about how to do really good corrections on teachingselfgovernment.com. So go to my website, there's trainings there and books there about all of those things to help you. We'll see you there.